The Washington Justice have pretty much completed their roster after their vice president stated they had no plans on releasing Decay or changing their roster. So I figured I'd give you all a Christmas gift and break down their roster today. For those that don't want to stick around for the breakdown, here is their roster. On DPS, they have retained Decay and Assassin from their 2021 season and have picked up Happy from the Houston Outlaws. On Tank, they have retained Mag from 2021 and have replaced Fury with Cleos from the New York Exlia. On Support, they have picked up Vigilante from Talon Esports, Krillin from T1 and Opener Support from General Jiong Coaching. They have retained Sup7 and Chilhua from 2021, while picking up Tidala from the Los Angeles Gladiators. The breakdown starts now. I feel like the Justice's off-season has been rather disappointing, while there is some excitement to be had and a few good improvements. Overall, they feel like they didn't make necessary changes to succeed. Starting on DPS, keeping Decay is great for them. Decay was by far their best player last year, consistently being one of the best tracers in the league and putting up well above average hitscan performances even when his team wasn't doing so hot. Assassin I am hoping can be coached into being more consistent. He has a ton of potential and was very impressive at certain moments in the league, but his inconsistency especially on the Sombra absolutely held the team back at times. Not a bad player to hold on to though. Happy is definitely an upgrade over Jerry though and a good pickup, while I stand by that he'll be benched for Decay a lot. He is still a great player and will be amazing for tracer hitscan or double hitscan meters especially. He is a very good Cassidy, Symmetra and Hanzo player. Overall, an 8 out of 10 DPS line. Decay and Assassin were quite good last year, and with the addition of Happy they have the potential to be a top one in the league. I just have questions about Assassin's inconsistency and I doubt they'll live up to some of the better DPS lines in the league, but will be overall quite solid. Next, the tanks. Mag has shown he can be a real head-turner. He was one of the best main tanks in the league, especially on his comfort picks, even being able to rival Fearless at his peak. He's a god, and I will continue to rate him highly despite him not being able to strut his stuff last year. We know this, though. The main question here is Cleos. I personally am pretty excited for Cleos, but it's hard to justify him over someone like Fury, who is in the conversation of GOAT of all time in terms of off-tanks. While last year was probably his worst season yet, he was still better than Cleos. However, it's hard to deny that Cleos was amazing for New York last year. The improvement they showed immediately after he joined was no coincidence. He enabled Yakbang much better, though he is still significantly worse than the top tier of tanks. I don't even think he was top half in his region. He has a lot of room for growth and can be a beast in the right circumstances though. I'm excited to see how he does next to Mag. I'd give this tank line a 7 out of 10. Mag is a beast, but Cleos hasn't shown he can compete with the top, and we'll have to see if Mag can get up to par on Oriza and Wrecking Ball. For the supports, I think Washington dropped the ball here. Vigilante is a pretty big pickup. He is one of the top rookies out of contenders and has the potential to be significantly better than Beb. He could be big for this team. The issue: he's not eligible for half of the season, leaving their only flex support option to be Krillin. Not super hot on this. Krillin has been decent in contenders if not stand out, and he was the only holdover from 2019 London onto the horrific 2020 London. He isn't bad, and we've seen players from that London squad turn into pretty decent players, but Krillin has never been stand out since then either. I think he's solid as a backup and even partner to Vigilante, but considering he has to be their main flex support for half of the season, it's not super inspiring. Then we've gone over the questionable decision to pick up opener over like anyone else. He isn't a particularly standout or impressive player and has a history of mediocre to bad tournament results. I think Pre has a lot of faith in him and hopefully Tidal as well, so I think it's safe to be cautiously optimistic. But from the outside looking in, it's not a great move and an honest downgrade from closer. 6 out of 10 support line, maybe a 7 if Vigilante is the next Vile 2T. Finally, the coaching. While I think this is a pretty significant upgrade, it's still questionable. They picked Tidal from the Gladiators, who has the potential to be a big signing. Tidal is a great coach. He helped lead both the Charge and the Gladiators to winning their first stage trophies in the league, and, as per Halo, has a lot of confidence he can do the same thing to the Justice. And I want to believe in him, as I think he shows a lot of promise. However, the Justice last year were one of the biggest coaching failures out there. They had a team bursting with the best talent on the market, rookie and veteran, and managed to be a solidly middle-of-the-pack team through their inability to adapt to hero pool-induced meta changes and general inflexibility. Not even bringing up how uncoordinated the team looked much of the time. Unless Tidal is secretly the next Krusty or Rush, and can cover up Sub-7's mistakes, I have to give them a 6 out of 10, but I will be cautiously optimistic about Tidal as he is a clear upgrade, though upgrading to a steaming pile of shit isn't too much to be optimistic about. Overall a 7 out of 10 team. I expect these guys to hover around middle of the pack to slightly upper tier, bolstered by a strong DPS core but held back by a weaker support line for most of the season. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more. I upload daily Overwatch League content and am trying to hit 100 subs by Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.